Go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Divine Brothers podcast. Been a while since we've been here, but I've been existing here in a city of 20 million, while Chase is existing out there in a city of 500. I don't know.
30K, son.
Oh, that's a town, man. Never mind. I thought you were like really. I thought that you were like the
It's big
sticks,
city
man.
life, man.
Do you got a Walmart?
Yes.
Okay, you're good. You're good. I think that's the marker. You got a Walmart. You're no longer a little bumfuck middle of nowhere. You got some,
Yeah,
you
man,
know.
it's fine. Yeah.
What makes you feel like the middle of nowhere? What's like the marker of saying, "Hey, um, I'm out here. I'm not in civilization anymore." What are the things that tell you that?
Well, I drove to the conference this weekend to Albuquerque, 3 hours, and there was a period where I went over 40 minutes where I did not pass a car, let alone a
Uh,
house or two in the distance.
yeah,
And I went down some road without any markers on the road. Like it was just a paved road. It was big. You could put two car, but it was paved and
yeah,
nothing. And it
nice.
was New Mexico terrain is just like, what the fuck is this? It's rolling
Pretty
hills, it's
cool.
canyons, it's
Cool.
small
Yeah,
mountains.
yeah.
And on that back road, I slowed down because I didn't know what I thought it was like a statue of a deer, but it apparently it was a real deer, but it was like frozen in this weird position. And I was like, it kind of gave me like demon vibes. Like I didn't because it was hot. And it just I stared at it for 5 minutes, a couple minutes. I stopped and
Yeah.
it didn't move. I was Googling it. It's like if it sees motion, they'll freeze. And I guess I was the only car out there. But it was
Okay.
very evil looking pose. It was just a deer in the middle of nowhere.
I've
Anyway,
always had like a little fear of deer,
I
you know.
I think we can talk about the not deer. But people the one if you come to America like the space, like if you came from Europe or a compact like a big city in China, like to drive through New Mexico, you don't see a
Yeah.
car for
Yeah.
you can go for hours. It's just like, wow, this is just
Yeah.
expanse. Yeah.
We went to a petting zoo in Kunming. There was like they have this kick-ass zoo in Kunming. Like it is way better than any zoo I've ever been to. Like it's just amazing. And they had a petting zoo, but you could tell that the animals that they put inside the petting zoo were way too big and aggressive for kids. You know, like they had like parents in there and they're like, oh, like holding their kid, taking them away and stuff like that. And Wu Yin's crazy into animals, and stuff. So he's like, I want to get close and take a look. I was like, all right, we'll go to the petting zoo and stuff. And there were some big deer in there. And I got really close to them, and they got the flies and the fur, and they got those eyes that aren't quite like conscious. And you felt like they really started eating shit out of your hand and stuff. And you're like, you're way more powerful than I thought. You're not some little bitch animal. Like, if you wanted to, you could fuck something up. So I keep a healthy distance from those guys, man.
You ever read about the not deer?
Nah,
It's
go ahead and tell us, Chase.
Nah, it's just a horse. It's pretty good. It's one of those SPC ones. You like
Uh,
it's pretty good. Some kind of alien.
SCP, SCP.
Right,
Yeah,
right. But it's pretending to be a deer, but it's not a deer. They're good.
yeah. I've been to the middle of nowhere, China, and it's a vibe shift for sure. But it's jungle, middle of nowhere. It's kind of like Vietnam. Remember when we used to go to
Yeah,
we went to that. Maybe there was some friend. I think you were trying to fuck her and stuff like that. I can't.
yeah,
She had like a little attitude, short hair,
yeah. I forget her
Vietnamese
name. She was
girl.
hot. She was super hot.
She
Yeah,
was
yeah.
hot. She was hot. Yeah, but she took us like way out of the city. It was a long drive, and all that. And that feeling of just being like, we're not by the city anymore. There's plants growing in places they shouldn't be growing. And if I go out like more than a couple meters, then something's gonna take me. It's scary. I don't like. I'm a civilized man. I gotta stay in my city for sure.
Fair enough.
Mm. I'm I'm kind of curious about the food situation out there. You guys got a restaurant, like a place to go or anything like that? Is there a spot?
No, food sucks.
Not even a buffet?
Yeah, man, look, I heavily think Mexican food's overrated.
You've always said this,
It's good. It makes you fat. It's not that good. And you can't eat it. You can't eat this shit every day. And I look around me too, everybody's obese. It's disgusting. It's just disgusting.
Mm.
It's just the natives are fat, the Mexicans are fat, the white people are, everybody's fucking fat because they're eating this shit all day.
It's the Ozempic, man. I thought everybody was doing it.
Sure.
Maybe it's only rich people. You can't like it's not like funded by the government, I guess, Maybe when that happens, people start getting thin.
It was odd. We had an uncle that's been heavy set for a long time. He was not heavy
I
set
wanted
when
to
I
ask
met.
you about this. Ask you,
Yeah.
how did he look? How did he look? You know?
In some ways frail. His arms were frail, and
Mm.
it's just
Because he's not working out.
no, no,
Yeah.
no.
That's what's
So,
gonna happen. I think everybody's gonna stop working out, and they'll
well,
just be thin.
let's get some exciting stuff. So I went to a conference for what did I go to? Some conference for Native American behavioral health, something, directors, workers,
Yeah.
psychology. It was funny because you got some of these people like John Hopkins, Harvard, and
Sure.
they're like just this generational trauma, and we still experience it every day, and the wound's not closed. And I'm like, there was one researcher that got up there and was like, yeah, we have generational trauma, and she presented this paper by this Native American Alaska woman. She's like, the only way to make process progress in life is to eventually say, yeah, I've been traumatized, but I have to suspend the trauma. Like I have to do something about it. And
Hmm.
nobody gave two shits about it. They were just like,
Sure.
yeah, no, we're traumatized. And I'm just like, the whole narrative of every research they have is we are continuously discriminated and traumatized daily. And I'm like, if you take an individual, if you're talking to an individual in therapy, he's like, today I was traumatized. Today, you'd be like, dude, just leave.
Did you
Like you,
talk to her?
yeah, I did. Actually, we switched information. I was like, dude, that was bold to actually say that. She goes, yeah, nobody, you're the only one that's commented. I'm like, yeah, I know. I was like, nobody gives a
Wow.
shit. Everybody wants to keep the narrative like, oh, it's
Oh, you know
racism
what?
and trauma. Yeah.
Maybe it was worth it. That one you found the one psychologist who's got the head on their shoulders. So maybe it was worth it because, 1 out of 100 has the head on their shoulders, man. Do it.
Yeah, it was very disappointing that every single one of
I don't
them
know what you
said the same
expected.
thing. Yeah, yeah, it's true. Oh, the other thing too, they had some pretty. Do you ever notice this like at a formal event where there's like, all right, it's buffet, right? You do it at the
Yeah.
conference and they go, nobody wants to be first in line for the buffet.
Oh man.
Why is that?
I Dude, I saw this video. I found this video fascinating this week. This was making the rounds on Reddit and stuff. And here's all it was. It was guys with their girlfriend, right? And they go out to like get a little ice cream or something like that, like a cute little datesy thing. The girl orders first, like, yeah, I'll get a sundae and blah blah blah. And then the guy says, yeah, nothing for me. And the girls look, what? Excuse me? What? Like one girl got fucking angry, like, order a fucking cookie. I'm not going to eat a cookie alone. Just order a cookie. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is going on? What am I witnessing? What is this thing that I'm seeing? And I don't know if it's like I feel less fat, if I'm doing this with somebody else, like it gives me permission or like the calories even out, or if it's a power move. But people have weird relationships with food like that. Like I can't be the first one in the buffet. Like that makes me the pig. There's just weird rules, man.
So this happened. It's 2-day conference. They served lunch, and I was like, all
Mm.
right, I'm gonna wait. I don't know why I was thinking I'm gonna wait till a couple people go. Nobody
We had
went.
the
Like
same
everyone
thing.
sat
We had
around
the
for
same
minutes.
thing. Yeah.
Somebody eventually went up there, old man, and it pissed me off. I was like, that was stupid. What the
Yeah.
fuck was that?
Yeah.
Second day today, it happened again. And I just, if I waited
You did
maybe
it?
10 seconds, I was like, fuck this shit. And I just went over there and I was digging in. And this little, this little native girl, she goes, I'm glad someone's got some balls to come over here and start this. I was like,
Oh, what a dude, Chase, what a fucking man. Dude,
yeah,
you're the hero. You
yeah.
know what that was? That was a Larry David moment, man. A
Yeah.
Larry David moment, and you fucking did it. Curb
I
your
looked
enthusiasm.
around when they said it. So you know what everyone did? They grabbed their
Yeah.
phone and go, oh. They started just like looking. I'm like, what? Why doesn't anybody want to be first to the buffet line? Fuck that shit. It was good food. I was the first one there and I got complimented on it. Didn't waste any
Yeah,
time.
I bet that gave you a deep sense of pride
And
that that girl
you know what
comp.
happened right when I got there?
More
Everybody else
people.
started. Yes.
Everybody gets up. Somebody, thank God this guy did it, you know.
That's
Also, do you
stupid.
know what it is too, Chase? You're in shape. So, like, because if you're not in shape and you're the first guy going up, then
Oh,
everybody's, look at
you
this
can't be
fucking
a
guy.
pig. Got
Yeah,
like,
like,
yeah,
look at
that's
this
true.
guy.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
that's it. I love those little games, man. They happen all the time and nobody acknowledges them. Like, so you should have been presenting at the conference on that. You should have been recording them and you got up at the end last day of the conference, be like, I have a little paper to present on you people. You know?
Hey, let me ask you this because I think this is what inherently is our just catastrophic flaw, me and you both. So I sit
Yeah.
there in this conference and like I gotta hear this woke shit every time. We're traumatized, we're traumatized. I got traumatized today and yesterday, and it's all
Sure.
because colonialism. We got to throw down the patriarchy. I'm like, yeah, as you take federal fucking funding and speak in English, but I, everything in my essence wants to raise my hand and not, but just say something to just like a little, just like poke in the chest, like you stupid.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
just circular logic. But I, I find it really hard to not say anything. Like I feel like at some point I'm gonna let it slip out, you know?
I think you need a little more reputation.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta. So here's what I would like. Say that girl, for example, you made contact with her. You find the other people who got the same mindset, and once you've established yourself in that circle, then you make the gentle poke. You know, and then you make a few more pokes, and then finally you make the big poke. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the more career-oriented way to do it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that would be the more career anyway. I just don't think I possess it.
Well, I think the other thing is you have such a transitionary life that it doesn't really matter what you say because you'll be gone, you know? Like,
Yeah,
so say whatever you want, you know?
yeah.
Just say it, move on, that sort of shit. I'm glad. Yeah, it sounds like, it was a thing to do. So, you did what you were supposed to do. So good for you, Chase. Good for you. They always invite me to go to teachers' conferences, and I always say, no, I don't care. I don't want to be in this career forever, so I'm not going. Like that's how it works.
They are a community-based people. I mean, shaking hands
Mm,
is they're so important to them. Just like oh
yeah.
yeah, I met that guy. He was funny, you know? So it's like, okay, play your game if I have to.
How many people did you meet?
Truly, truly got to know. I shook hands with about six or seven, but three that I exchanged information with.
Okay, interesting.
So
Good.
this was I had to rent a car because my car was in the shop, and I'm walking. I had to rent it from this Enterprise place up the road. It's literally 2 blocks from my house. But I called the night before, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get the car." And the person I talked to, it sounded like a transsexual man for some reason. That's how I saw it in my head, and
Can I
just
help you, sir?
yeah. And I was like, transsexual man in some desert town. And I was just like, this
Not
is
a not a good place to be.
no,
Yeah.
no, man. It was just I had just these unbelievably low expectations. And I
Right.
walk over there to get this car, and I walk in, and it's it, just have you walked in somewhere and just utterly floored? Like the lady behind the desk was absolutely stunning, stunning,
Oh. Oh, okay.
stunning, and unbelievably like it was such an easy conversation with her. And I was like, "Oh, what are you Latin?" She's like, uh, "North African, Middle Eastern,
North. Interesting.
Tunisia, Tunisia." Yeah, I was like.
Interesting.
And I started looking at her, I was like, oh my God, yeah, I see. It's like this French brunette with the
Yes.
Muslim, I guess, too. But she was,
What the fuck's she doing in that town?
I was like,
Man.
what is going on? Where's the
Yeah.
transsexual man? And I looked over and this monotone chick with this horrible voice next to her is this very attractive Native American Mex. Like, I was like, these two stunning women working in the store. it
Two
just
blocks away from Chase existing.
I was like, kind of what the fuck is going on? But oh man, the Mediterranean beautiful woman was. I was like, man, I have never been to that part of the world, but
Dude,
she was staggeringly beautiful.
so I think I've told this story before, but there was in COVID, right? We were all locked down together, like in a hotel, like all the teachers and stuff. So we would hang out more than usual. And I got to know a middle school teacher named Kalen. Short, kind of fat, not attractive looking guy, but he was getting married and his fiance was in Tunisia. Yeah, like
Really,
she it was a Tunisian girl. And I was like, he just wouldn't shut up about her. Every conversation, yeah, well, my fiance, I'm gonna get married. Blah, 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 blah. This dude converted to Islam. Like he's a Canadian dude. He converted to Islam.
really.
Fucking heart grew the big beard, prayed five, learned Arabic, like all that stuff. I fucking impressed him. I was like, dude, you're converting to Islam for some chick you want to fuck. You know, like I did not, I did not, I thought he was fucking crazy. Well, 2 years later, she comes into China. She's stunning. I was shocked how beautiful she was. Like, Chase, she was gorgeous.
Hmm.
Like, it all made sense. I was like, okay, I'd convert to Islam too. You know, like she was gorgeous. She was a little like a Middle Eastern dream. Like I wanted her to like put her hands above her hand and go like dun, 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 dun. Like she was and you know what? She had dark skin, but it was beautiful. Like that beautiful brown shade, you know, like it was like very it just looked she looked I'm trying to think of the word. She just looked like she was made in a lab in Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? Like the perfect Middle Eastern dream, you know? Like she's just gorgeous. And I went up to him afterwards. I was like, dude, I get it. And he's like, I know. Yes, I know you do. I know. But she was from Tunisia. I remember that. He went and got married in Tunisia. He had to meet the father and like prove that he was Islamic, you know, like recite fucking verses from the Quran and all that sort of stuff.
God,
You know?
God. I guess I got a head
Yeah.
start with the beard or whatnot, but yeah.
Did
Anyway,
you, progress the conversation and be like, "Hey, I got my car. What about your number?" You know, like,
this has probably happened to me 4 or 5 times in my life where she was stunned and it just worked like it was crowded, but it kind of cleared out. So it was just kind of her working behind the desk. And it was just this little banter. It was back and forth. There, it was
what do you
just
do? Doctor, doctor.
nah, it was just funny, easy,
Yes,
smooth
yes,
conversation.
yes.
Dude, she walks me out to the car. So, and here's your keys. And no hesitation, Dean, no anxiety. I was like, yeah, man, I've really enjoyed this conversation. I like your vibe. You want to go get coffee or dinner sometime? She's like, yeah, sure. Let me put the number in your phone. And she did. Yeah.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really?
But then
Wow.
she went to Tunisia for a month and said, we'll touch base when we get back. So,
Uh,
yeah.
well,
But
that's something.
I,
That's
it- you know,
something.
I give it 40%. But I I had anytime I've ever asked a girlfriend a number, and not saying anything, you're nervous because you're like,
Oh, yeah. How
there
can
was
you not
nothing.
be?
There was nothing. I was like, this has been so
Really?
smooth. I'm just gonna ask, and she was like, yeah, sure. Let me put it in myself. Yeah,
Uh-oh. This has the ring of it's a little story. It feels a little movie like here.
yeah, right,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah. Enterprise
Hmm.
rental. Yes.
Interesting. Interesting.
But dude, I
Ah.
got the cold shoulder, and then she was like, I'm going to Tunisia for a month. I was like, yeah, okay, see how it is. So, yeah.
What are you gonna do in a month?
I don't know. I'm
Sit
we'll
there?
we'll see if she reaches out. But I'd give it very low odds. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but it
Well,
was refreshing to be attracted to someone and it wasn't a dating, I was in person. I was like, damn, that's a fine woman. She's good talk. Like
doctor.
it
Did you
was
say
really
doctor? Did you say yes? I'm Dr. Chase. Did you say that?
I probably should
Did
have.
you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit. Well, how could you not? That's the opening line. You
Well,
know.
they ask what you do when they take your information. They know she
They're
knows what I
like, oh,
do.
Mr. Conrad. Sorry, Doctor Conrad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. You know. Oh, you went to medical school. I went to school. Yes. You know.
I went to school and studied
Yes.
things somewhat medical. Yes.
Tunisia, man. I I will always remember that. I will and you know where I saw her, by the way, for the first time ever? It was in the gym. In the
Really,
gym.
really.
I saw her, I was like, oh, it's a very beautiful non-Chinese. Because you see the foreigners, you're like foreigners there. And I remember thinking, like, damn, she's beautiful. And there was Kaylin right behind her. And I was like, oh, oh, oh. Like I went right up to him and I told like there was no hesitation. I didn't care if it was rude or not. I went right up to him and said, dude, I get it. I get it. And he was like, thank you. Thank you.
So I was talking to her and she was behind the desk and she knocked over a cup and obviously it spilled all over the keyboard, but she
Oh, a
handled it
little
so
nervous around
well,
shit.
laughed it
Yeah.
off, said she was clumsy. I was like, "Damn, I think she just got hotter." It's just like she played it off perfectly. I was like, oh, that was good. That could
It
have
is
ruined
interesting
everything.
those moments that are attractive, like you talked about the girl who ate the piece of pie or the piece of cake out of the
Yeah.
refrigerator,
Yeah,
like these are the moments
took the plate. Yeah.
that took the plate. That these are the things, man. These are the things. Well, Chase, I hope you get your harem started, That this sounds good. But
Such unbelievably low expectations that were exceeded at Enterprise Realm. Yes.
wow. Speaking of like girls from former Islamic caliphates, yeah, I've been reading all about like the old Islamic empires. Chase, I didn't know anything about like Islamic empires. This is the most unbelievable history ever. It's unbelievable, man. Have you ever heard of the Umayyads? You ever heard of these guys?
No.
They're the OG Islamic Empire, and they were like
Are these the
the
ones with genies and the jinn and shit like that?
yeah. That's all Islamic stuff, right? But like, I think Aladdin, right? Like incredible luxury and stuff. But these dudes, like the first guys, these Umayyads, they just conquered everybody. They beat everybody. And they were Islamic, but they were all about like just pleasure. Like they like the caliphates, they would have like these harems, and they would have thousands and thousands of women from every corner of the world, and each one was like they would have the red-headed former Viking, they would have the Persian dancers and the Chinese one and all. They had them all, and they would have a different one every single night. You know, there was one guy in Cordoba. He was so rich, he had a gigantic reflecting pool of mercury, like liquid silver, and like the silver would dance in the light of Spain, like in the Spanish light and stuff. And when they would defeat their enemies, they would cut out their tongue and feed them to cats in front of them.
Oh my
You know,
God.
I know, like they were the craziest
Yeah,
dudes, and they
didn't
defeated everybody. Yeah,
not the con, man. Didn't Genghis go in there and say enough of this
that's
shit?
hundreds of years later.
Is it?
Hundreds of years later. Yeah. So the Umayyads get taken out by the Abbasids, who basically, like in Islam, like in the beginning, it was just like, we're beating everybody. This is great. Like, but they're not really thinking about religion too much. They're like, we're all Muslim, but we're not really focused on. But they get so rich that they get these Muslim scholars, and they just start getting into the law, and they start talking about like what did the prophets say and what's not in the Quran, and they get crazy, crazy religious, and they're like, we're done with these fucking harem having super rich Umayyads, and out of Iran, out of the Persian place, they get the Abbasids, and they're hardcore religious. Like they're all about
That
like
destroyed
fucking
everything, didn't it?
we're going hardcore religious, everybody. And that's where you get like the black flags. They got those black Islamic flags with the Arabic on them and
What
stuff.
is
That's
wrong
where
with them? You fucking women from all over the world to not fucking anything and just
I don't know.
covering everything up and fucking young boys? I don't get that.
You
Why would
learn
you
stuff,
make that
man. Like
shift?
like you know that Mecca, like, and they got that rock in the middle of Mecca
Disgusting, filthy rock they probably never clean.
so
Yeah.
I always thought
Yeah.
like they always treated so with so much sacredness. And guess what, man?
It's nothing.
Muslims have like come in there and destroyed the rock and destroyed all of it like four
I
times.
know.
That's the
I've heard
shit.
that.
They just keep rebuilding it. I was like, wait a second, I thought this was the OG rock, right? Like this is the thing. And they're like, no, no, they come in there, they destroy it, and then they build it again, and then they destroy it, and they build it again. So it's an interesting little lesson in religion, man. I had a lot of fun reading that shit.
I
You
heard
know.
esoteric or ancient fucking Islam is supposed to be fucking awesome. It's supposed to blow Christianity away
Oh,
before it went
dude.
hardcore. Yeah.
I'm telling you, May, it's unbelievable
Why
cool
did they
shit.
lose power? I mean, sounds like they were living the way we're
They
supposed
got
to live.
because they let the pleasure get to what happens is they stop conquering and they just spend all their time in the harem. You know, like they never seriously they
I,
never leave.
you can't
They
blame
just
him.
stay
You can't
there
blame him.
forever.
You can't blame
They
him,
build
man.
these unbelievable palaces, like the most unbelievable palaces, and they just all day, just woman after woman after woman. And the other thing is they're the ultimate slavers. Like they enslave everybody, you know. But it's weird because in Islam, there's this idea that like slavery is totally okay, but you're expected to free your slaves. Like you can't. It's not supposed to be generational, you
Thought they
know.
castrated him.
uh I don't know anything about eunuchs, maybe, but anyways, they bring in like all these girls, and the girls are really into it because if they like you, right? If the caliphate likes you, he'll free you, and then you get to be a wife. You know what I mean? So they all have this dream that oh, like maybe he'll favor me, and all that sort of stuff, and interesting stuff,
Sounds
super
like they
super
got it right. Sounds like it's been downhill for humanity since then.
if
Yeah.
you're yes the number one guy, yeah, you can do that stuff. But fascinating stuff, and like it existed, like the brutality of it all. So the guys who beat the Umayyads, right? Here's what they capture like the last of the Umayyad family, these crazy religious people, and they have a feast in the palace, and they get a huge carpet and they chain everybody down on the floor. They put the carpet over them, and then they have this feast on top of them. And they literally like have the huge feast, and they invite thousands of people in to eat, and they're literally crushed alive underneath the carpet while they're all partying, and stuff like
Wow.
that. Like these are brutal people, man. Like, oh, it
What
was fun.
was, is there any truth to the genie? Is this a real thing? I mean, is
This
it
comes from Arabian Nights, right? And so, like, Baghdad, right? They built Baghdad didn't exist before the Islamic empires came on, and Baghdad was the fucking city. Like, they made it a perfect circle and all that, and it was like the perfect place between China and the West. And it was the richest city in the world. Apparently, it was like Venice. There were canals everywhere and all this
how
stuff.
did they have lots of water back in the day going through there? How did they do
Tigris
that?
and Euphrates, the
Was it
Tigris and Euphrates River. Like that's what this. So it's it's former, not exactly, but close to Babylon, like the same sort of thing. In the same way you could have the Hanging Gardens there. They just did those rivers, man, and had it going. It was like a garden in the middle of the desert.
Babylon
So
was a great name. Baghdad's good too.
it was so the Arabian Nights, those stories. That's where the genie comes from, and like Ali Baba and his 40 thieves and Sinbad, all that. They come from these, but they all happen in Baghdad because it was this like kind of mythical city where like all the wealth of the world was. Like you could find shit from China, shit from Africa, shit from Europe, all in this one
Yeah, there's a
city.
middle spot. Yeah, that
Um,
would be a fucking amazing place back in the day, huh?
spot. It was the spot. That's where everybody wanted to be, man. Like Baghdad, like the Vikings went all the way to Baghdad, like not for conquering, but for trading. Because the Baghdadis loved, like they would bring blonde and redheaded slaves, and that like you could get crazy money for like a blonde girl in Baghdad. So the Vikings would go all the way
How
down there
much do you
just to
think we
sell.
would fetch with our intellect and good looks, you think, back in the day?
I think they would say this looks like a good person to work the sugarcane fields, which apparently was the worst job
This be
in
good
all
for
of Baghdad.
to feed to the lions. Yes, as we
He's still got
wish.
some muscle on him. He'd be perfect for breaking his back in the fields. That's the correct place for him. Or send you down to the mines, even worse, going down to the mines.
Dude, so
But
I had a client tell he's a former vet in the military. He goes,
yeah.
yeah. He's telling me the story about this guy that got caught for selling secrets to the Russian government while in the military.
Oh shit!
He goes,
Wow.
I didn't know there was military prisons. 45
Oh yeah,
years of hard
their own
labor.
courts.
Hard
You know,
labor in
I didn't
America,
know about this.
military
Oh,
prison. I go, is that true? I don't know. I just talked to him recently. He's like, yeah, he never looked it up. I was like, oh my God,
I
that
didn't know. I
sounds
knew that there were
it's North
military
Korean.
courts.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, North Korean sort of shit.
Man,
That
I
is,
guess we throw that shit down. If you fuck around in the military selling secrets to Russia, we're just like, all right, you're fucking done. You're dead.
Oscar Wilde, you know him, like the former gay guy. He got sentenced to hard labor in England, like in the 19th century, or maybe early 20th. But it broke him. Like it was only 2 years, but it just he was broken as a man. Like his mind broke. He was
That's the
never the
point,
same.
right?
He
Yeah.
never. Oh yeah, like it. apparently it just destroys people, like totally, totally destroys them, you know? So
Physically and mentally. Yep.
I wonder what they're doing to them. Like, what's hard labor in 21st century? Like, what does that mean? You know?
Working all day, master got me working.
I guess so. Yeah, yeah. The Carmen song,
It's a great
hardcore.
song.
Yeah. Hey, did you see that Knicks Spurs game?
No, I heard they had a historic collapse. Yeah, I haven't watched any of it.
Chase, this was great because like I was watching it with my students. Like it was at the first, we was at the very end, and we were watching it. Like all the boys were like, "Well, let's watch this," you know. And of course, I'm rooting for the Spurs, man. I don't want New York people to fucking be
No, I
bragging
hate
about
New
the.
York. New York deserves to
Oh
burn for
yeah,
life forever. Yeah, it's an awful place.
Chase. This, you know, when I think of the word choke now, I'm going to think of the Spurs forever. I have never seen a choke job like this. Like, there were so many things wrong with what they were doing, but number one, what is up with 3 point shots? They never tried anything else. It was just 3 point, 3 point, 3 point, 3 point. I was like, is this all the game is now? It's just 3 point shot after 3 point shot after, like, there was nothing. They didn't even try to go in the paint, you know? And the other thing is, like, I see this in tennis a lot, but that feeling of momentum, like, it was so clear you could not stop the Knicks. Like it was, you could feel God behind them. You know what I mean? They were down 29 points, 29 points, and they fucking, you could feel like the energy behind them. I've never seen anything like it, man.
Dude,
I've
the
never
Knicks,
seen like
they're up 3-1. They've won every game. You know by how many points? I believe one
not
point
much.
every game.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah.
Not much,
But
man.
what one team's a bunch of young kids, the other one's seasoned
Oh
vets,
yeah.
and it's starting to show. Yeah.
Yes, that's I see. That is an interesting thing. I guess experience at the end of the
Well,
day.
it's exactly
Yeah.
what you said, because when you're up, you drive the hole and get the foul. I'm going to go to
Yes.
the foul line and just get a couple points because that's going to kill them. They can hit threes as long as we're making one or two, we win. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just basic
Yeah.
logic. Yeah.
This is the thing that I hate too. So the New York, they were going insane in New York. Like for some reason, you could just feel these people are invested in the Knicks for whatever reason. But the Knicks players are like the most boring people ever. I've listened to all their after game interviews and stuff. Monotone, no personality, no talking trash. I was just like, you guys, you're in New York City. I would be talk, dude. I was thinking about like if I was a great NBA player, I would talk so much trash. You know, I would come like I'd spit on the team's logos in the middle of the
They would love
basketball
you.
court.
They would
I'd
ratings would
talk
spike.
so much
The commissioner
garbage.
would
You
love
know,
you. Yeah.
I would love it. I would just absolutely eat up
I'd
every
be
bit of
talking
that.
shit down too. Like, yeah, we'd let them do this, just to make it feel even worse when we fucking beat them. Yeah.
Yeah, like throw people under the bus. Like it was his fault. He was the loser. Right? You know, like
Yeah.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like our coach is fucking up. We need somebody new, you know, somebody like that. I love that stuff, man. But I'll watch the game 6 in San Antonio. Um, which they've lost 2 there, so but I'll
So
watch it.
last weekend I was at our grandfather's house and
Yeah.
our mother of ours called him. I was staying with him. He just called. He's on speaker. She's like, "Hello." He's like, "Picking up burritos. Just got them, and just want to let you know we'll be at the house in 5 minutes." I said, okay. And he hung up. He goes, "Chase, your mother is a." He didn't say liar. He said, "What did he say? What's another word for that you expand on the truth? What is that word?
Exaggerator? I don't
Something
know.
like that." But he's like,
Yeah.
"Sonic is 15 minutes away. If you're pulling out." She sounded like she was still ordering. Therefore, she will be here in closer to 20, yet she said 5. You know? He just and he went through all his children. He's like, Dee Dee's worse. My son, how is he? Like he's like, they say 5. Your mother's 15 to 20. Your Dee Dee's around 30, and Hal's in between. I'm like, God,
It's funny.
that is it's not me. I if I say 10, I'm trying my best. Like that's pretty. I think I'm gonna beat him
Yeah.
at 10.
Yeah.
I never understood that. I know five's the common thing, but if I think it's seven, I'll say seven. I don't understand people saying five when they know it's going to be 20. And
I've always been on
it
10. Yeah.
frustrated him a bit, but he was this point, he was like, it doesn't matter because we've talked about it and it's never going to change. And yeah, yeah.
Yes. I remember one time he got mad at me. And we've always had a great relationship, but I remember this. I used to come and have Sunday dinner with him almost every week, like over at Ransom Canyon and stuff, while I was in college. And one Sunday, like I can't remember why, but I just couldn't make it, and it was kind of sudden. So I called him up before dinner, like it must have been 4 or something, and said, "Daddy, I can't make it." And he's like, "You can't make it." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm so sorry." And he hung up the phone, didn't say goodbye or anything like that. And I was like, "Oh." I really upset him, and stuff. And that's just clearly that's a button for him, like you need to do what you said you were gonna do, you know.
He's a
That's
fucking
some crazy.
attorney. Appointments cannot be late. When you have
Yeah.
and me too, I can't be late. I can't
Oh
be
yeah.
showing up late.
Yeah.
So when you have a career where you aren't allowed to be late, it's kind of yeah. I guess
Right.
that happens, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what,
Well,
that canyon he lit, I like that lake. I've never
good.
been in a lake in a can. I like that. Above the canyon is shit, but underneath the
On the
canyon,
lake. Yeah.
it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I
Yeah,
like
man.
that.
That's what I was saying. Like when I was there, I was hanging out. Me and Erica, we hung out for like Daddy Dean had to go to a funeral. Me and Erica hung out for like 3 hours on the deck. We just sat out there talking, man. It was
Yeah,
great. Like cool,
Eric,
nice, no mosquitoes.
it's Erica's house. And now she was
Oh
having,
yeah.
she's like, I go, Erica, is this your house? She's like, yes, it is my house. I was like, you want to leave it to me? And she's like, you want me to leave you the house? Oh, if you want to. She's like, I think we say, I was trying my best. I was like, oh, you can leave it to me if you want to. It's okay. I'll take it. Nobody else wants it. I like it out there. Yeah.
Probably made him laugh, Jay. Man, thank God I can tell like when I was hanging out with them, they just wanted to laugh. They're so bored, like just crazy bored. There's nothing to do, and
I
poor
know.
Erica can't move, so just desperate for conversation,
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
gave it to him. You did your duty,
That's a cool spot. It'd be a great spot for people that had energy and were young. Yeah, you could make a really
I
cool.
imagine she'll give it to Clifford. That's what I imagine she'll do.
Chase.
Give it to Clifford.
Yeah.
And Chase is not. Although no one has seen our grandfather's will. No one. He's told them like what's in it, but nobody's actually seen it. So who knows what's going to happen in there?
I'm gonna do that with my will, and they're gonna be like, "You just got debt. Who you leaving the debt to?"
Yeah. I man, I I had an interesting encounter with a foreigner yesterday. And I was at McDonald's with Wu Yin. Like he just wanted to get like some fries, right? So I'm just standing there, and all of a sudden, a like 6'8" black African black guy, like super black, like come right up to me, and he's like, "You are the first English I have heard in many days." And I look up to him and I was like, "Oh, yeah, man. Hey, what you doing out here in Beijing?" And he looked at me and he didn't say anything. He just looked at me, for a few seconds, and he's like, "I have come to see the Great Wall." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, it's just up the road." And again, pause several seconds, and he said, "Why are you here?" And I was like, I teach in international school." And he took his hand and he patted me on the head,
Well,
and he
you're
said,
6'8", you can do that.
he was like, "It is good to notice." And he walked away.
They,
He patted me on the head. I was like, what is happening?
can I?
You know?
Maybe you know this. I heard this on a TikTok. One of those idiots. He says the
Yeah.
Great Wall. It's one side is to keep something out, the other is defending, right? It's not like is that like the
What do you
wall
mean?
is meant like one side's for offense, the other's more for defense, or is it just a straight wall? It's the same on both sides.
Uh, when I went, it was the same on both sides.
Oh,
I mean, I really don't know. I
okay.
just like the wall is basically destroyed, but I happen to live in a place where like it's the place everybody goes to because it's a super complete version of the wall. And that
Oh,
wall was, like totally the same on both sides.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
This guy was saying that the offensive and defensive side of the wall, and that the defensive side of the wall was on the other side of China. Like they were trying to keep it.
Well, I don't know about that, but I do know this. The Great Wall was basically useless. Like it was impressive and stuff, but it never actually did anything to stop
Well,
anybody,
what the
you
fuck
know?
was the point of it? Yeah, I don't understand.
I think symbolic.
Yeah.
China's big on symbolic things. Like we were in Guizhou a couple of weeks ago, and they built this insane bridge. Like this bridge is just it. Just imagine like the Waipio Valley, and they built a bridge right over the top. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like they just built, and I was like, so why did they build this bridge? And they're like, because we could. That's the only reason. Like they did it because symbolically it shows, look what we can fucking do, you know. And that's kind of the mindset
Yeah,
of a lot
Asian
of.
does that shit, like kind of flaunting, kind of look at me shit. And I was like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, my buddy's going. He's going to Vietnam, and he's. I was like, oh, you're going to Vietnam in fucking July, and I was like, what city? He's like Ho Chi Minh, and I was like, well,
Dude,
have fun
remember
down there.
driving in Ho Chi Minh in the summer, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're just like gonna have like a heat attack. You're like, been
Oh my
driving my,
god.
am I dehydrated? Yeah, you're dehydrated and you're about to die. Pull over and get some water. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what he was thinking. Like I was like, all right, have fun. And apparently he's like, taking the whole family down there, like
No.
people coming in from different countries, and they're all gonna hang out in Ho Chi Minh. I was like, okay, have fun. I don't know what you gonna do.
Cooking in Southeast Asia, walking outside and your glasses fog up immediately. It's like, oh my
Oh
God,
man,
I can't. Yeah.
see, don't you worry about that in Cambodia. Like I imagine it's the same, just jungle heat,
The reason
kids.
I liked Cambodia because it's so cheap to get around. It's maneuverable. Everywhere's got aircon and everything's got English and everywhere's got dollar bills. And it's
Okay,
it
fair
it's
enough.
just it's a city, but it's like I don't gotta take a train. I don't even need a bike, and the
Yeah,
taxi's $1.50. I'll sweat
yeah.
for a minute or two. That's fine.
It is interesting, like once you get used to a place. Like so my Chinese is to the point where I've started having tiny conversations with people,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Hmm.
and I'm starting to see that like I've got that comfort level now where suddenly like Chinese people are so grateful that I speak a little Chinese, that everybody's friendly. And now I have that feeling of I don't care where I am in China, I'll be comfortable.
Wow.
Like I can make it work in any part of China. And that's a great feeling. And that must be what it's like in Cambodia too, because of the dollar bills and the English. You're like, okay, no matter where I am, I can make this work.
Yeah.
Like
And then you walk in and they're like 50 cent happy hour. I go, what did you just fucking say? You
50
know?
cent, baby. That should be a universal, man. 50 cent half the hour. Like, come on. Come on. It's fucking terrible, these prices. Have you seen like what they're charging for the World Cup? Like, you know what like the nosebleed seats are?
It's disgusting, dude. It's
10
just
grand.
I
10 grand.
it's just a level of people that you'll never meet. And they're the only ones that get to go to this. Fuck them, man. Fuck all of
Dude,
them.
that's that Knicks game, man. Like
Fuck them
down on
too.
they keep on the front row.
Fuck
There's
them.
Jerry Seinfeld, Larry David, fucking Ben
Fuck
Stiller.
all them,
Like
man.
they're all just lined up, and I was like, okay, so this is for you and nobody else. Yeah, the regular fucking New York. Yeah, fuck them. You're never gonna go to a game. You're never gonna take your kid to see a game. It's never gonna happen. Just it's not right, man. It's not right. They're not the people's teams anymore. They're
Mm,
just fucking money.
It's insane. I talked to a person here. It's like, yeah, we took a family vacation to Phoenix and we went to the Cardinals game and the whole thing cost me like 10 grand. I'm like, what?
Jesus.
I was like,
No,
you went
man.
to a fucking stupid football game? I was like, in Phoenix? I was like, it's just, I can't. Stupid shit.
I can't either. There should like I guess that we just live in a world where you either have money or you don't have money. And if you don't have money,
What?
that's
I I don't even know what having money is anymore. Because it's like I thought I'm doing okay, but then
having
it's
money
like
means
not
Ozempic. Having money means have the best quality AI. Having money means that you get a vacation. Having money means you get to go to the game. Not having money means you're fat. You're gonna work every day of your life till you die. Means no one wants to date you because you're a fucking loser. You'll never own a home. Like it's very it's a
Very
nice
good.
little future. Yeah.
Clean cut.
That is good stuff, man. Speaking of what, hey, man, how's Hawaii? Is that somebody still living there, taking care of things?
Get dragon fruit now. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say that there was one other person at the conference. There was this old woman, and I and
Yeah.
I commended her, and she was pretty friendly with me the rest of the weekend. There's this one idiot there. This fucking guy, someone that goes to a conference. It's their questions, but the motherfucker doesn't ask a question. He rambles about, I don't know what he did it 4 or 5 times. And this chick on the
Oh, I
side,
know that kind of guy. Yes, I know that.
she
That guy is a
must
menace to society.
admin
Yeah.
society, fucking up lunch, fucking on letting us leave it. It was the last of the first day, and this old 70-year-old lady sitting on the side is just like, you could see her just getting pissed off. She walks up to the front, grabs the mic. She goes, she was smooth. I appreciate your feedback and your insight and blah, blah, but we're going to move on. And I was like, I went up to her afterwards and
Hero, hero.
she's from the tribe I work at. I didn't know that. I go, hey, thank you so
Ah,
much. And she goes, I had to do it. I had to do it. I was like,
had to do it.
she was cool, man. There's some personality there. Yeah.
See, Chase, those moments that you described, those are the moments why you go to the conference. None of the other stuff they were talking about matters, but those little moments, important, important. She's gonna remember that. Like, yeah, she gave me appreciation. That's as it should be. This again, it all sounds like an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Larry David would say, "Okay, you've talked enough. Nobody wants to hear you talk anymore. Just you've done enough. You only get a minute, 1 minute per question. That's it. Like
Dean, if
that.
we
That.
could ever get to fuck you money, I really do think me and you would develop that. Like, listen,
Oh, sure.
you're
Yeah.
bordering on the rambling, so better get to the point. 5 seconds.
Yep.
Three,
Yep.
two. Okay. We
As
just
it should be.
yeah.
Me and we watched a movie this last week. Have you ever seen the movie Being John Malkovich?
That's he goes in a universe where everyone's John Malkovich. No,
Yeah.
it's not. I no, I bits and pieces. I like John
Interesting
Malkovich.
movie. Interesting movie. In fact, I think it's a good movie, but there's this great moment. Like they subvert the expectations throughout, but there's this great moment where, like, so the whole premise is you can be John Malkovich for 5 minutes, you
Yep.
know, and but it's like a drug. Like everybody wants to do it. Like they get lines
And
and lines of
you
people.
go in enough, you get to be him longer and longer, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You can learn to control. Yeah,
Becomes a
but
puppet
anyway,
master or something, right?
becomes a puppet master. Yes, that's right. But anyways,
Yeah.
there's this great scene. So there's like this woman who's like it's kind of this sexy bitch who's like she's just fucking with everybody, But it's the first guy to do it, and they're like, "Oh, so why are you interested in doing this?" Like the main character asks, "So why are you interested in doing this?" And he's like, "I'm I'm not a handsome man. My whole life I've been overweight." And the girl just cuts him off and says, "Yeah, $200." Like just stops the monologue. Like, I don't want to hear your story. We're not going to hear your story. Just $200. Go. And we wanted to stand up and applause. Just say, thank you. Thank you for not subjecting me to a 5-minute monologue of a guy talking about how shitty his life is before we can get to the part of the movie that I'm interested in. They cut it off, and she's like, yeah, $200. Now go in the fucking door. You know,
Do
it was
you
beautiful. It was
remember that
beautiful.
that movie Dumb and Dumber, the original, where the
Yeah.
smoking hot redhead is at the party and Harry's
Oh,
walking
yeah.
up to her and she's like, "Oh, something, something," but I don't want to bore you with that. And he's like, "Oh, thanks." You know,
Chase dreams of that. He dreams of that.
because it's shocking to people, but it's really it's like, "Thank you, appreciate that."
Thank you for doing that. I forgot about that line. Oh man.
That's a great one. I want to do that in therapy. Like, well, doc, there's a lot of things I want to tell you, but I don't want to bore you. Oh, thank you. We can talk about something else.
I tried to show Ian years ago, Dumb and Dumber, and like he didn't make it like 20 minutes in. He just looked at me the whole time. He's like, "What is wrong with you Americans?" Like it did not click. It did not translate
There's
at
some
all. I
great,
was like, "This is
this Dumb and Dumber, some great moments, man. There really is. It's true. It's great.
it's a classic." I remember that as a kid being totally amazed by that dog car. You know, like I
No,
was like,
yeah. Sheepdog.
you lift up the leg to put the gas in. Like I was amazed. It's just so great. You know? Oh man,
You know
those
the
things you don't realize things when you're a kid.
do you
Yeah,
remember the Ace Ventura movie, the original one?
of course, yeah.
What was
Right.
do you remember
Where he
any
kisses, kisses a
highlight?
man, and
Yeah, oh
he
yeah, that was
goes,
great ways.
he takes the plunger to his
Gorgeous.
face, just and
He's
cries in
crying
the
in the
shower.
shower. He's burning his clothes. That's
That was
fantastic.
that was the
So that,
I know
remember
Chase's favorite moment. I remember Chase's favorite
what?
moment. Ventura.
Oh.
Yes, Satan.
Mr. Dance. Mr. Dance
It's
is great. But the but the funniest I laughed is when he's trying to get information from his cop friend and he won't give it to him. So he turns around and starts talking out of his ass. Remember? He's like, okay, okay, I'll give it to you. Just stop that, please. I want to ask you a couple of questions. I need some answers.
That was so stupid. That was so stupid. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's a great
Oh,
movie, man.
see, dude, I think like peak Jim Carrey. That was some just it was the funniest shit ever. Like that was some unbelievably funny shit. And it was all him. Like he was everything in those movies, man.
If
You know?
if I could change my last name, I think I would change it to
True.
Dance.
Chicken dance, chicken dance. Dr. Chicken Dance.
That's that's the type of world I want to live in. That's
Oh my God.
uh
Uh, uh,
you know what I miss, man?
uh, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Weed. I miss some weed. I'd really love to just
Me
die
too.
laughing. It's not
Not too
fair.
long.
It's not fair,
Yeah.
man. It's-
It's so bad that it makes me want to drink, like just to have something like it,
yeah.
you know? Like I don't really like drinking at all, but I'll do it just to feel different, just to have something semi-high, you know? But it's awful because there's no one to drink with, you know? Like I can drink with Wu Yin's friends in Yunnan, which is fun, but it's different. It's like they want to just gamble and play games, which is fun. Like I can do that, you know, but man, I miss just getting high and laughing your ass off. You remember getting high with Eric?
Yeah.
Great, right? Watching TV, getting high with Eric. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I was supposed to say that this event that I went to was at a casino. Really, they comped the room and
Romantic
everything. It's a
games.
nice
Yeah.
casino.
Yeah.
But I got to I've never been in a casino before in my life. This is the first time. I got to roam
No
around the
way.
floor. Yeah.
Huh. How was it?
It was a bunch of very
Sad.
poorly dressed white people looking miserable. And nobody looked like they were really having fun, you know?
Yeah.
And it was
It's
packed.
kind of what I imagine.
Yes. I was like, yeah, this is casino. This is how they get their money. And here we are talking about how to better their people as they totally destroy these white
It's like
people's lives.
it's
Yeah.
today they were talking about. Have you heard about the Texas Tech quarterback? You know,
Yes.
yeah.
Gambling against his team, against it. That's
It's okay,
crazy.
Chase. It's okay. They looked. He's in rehabilitation. The judge said it's okay. You know, he can come back to Tech. Of course, they're gonna let him come back. You know,
Let me tell you,
like,
if you got a gambling problem, that's fine. Like if you're betting on your team to win, like straight, I have no problem with that. Hey, we're gonna beat them. But if you're just like, hey,
yeah,
we're gonna lose by 7, I'm like, yeah, you can't. No, no.
no, that is really bad, man. You know, like Floyd Mayweather, who I don't like, but he always bets on himself. Every time he bets on himself, like huge money, millions, millions. And so you got to respect it. At least it's like in your
Sure,
favor. You know what I mean?
sure.
But he was doing 90 grand, 90 grand on losing a game. You're not going
It's
to impact your play.
dude, your school, Texas, has so much money. They
Oh
just
yeah.
buy whatever they want now. It's incredible.
Yeah.
That oil money, you guys are a legit national contender year in, year out.
It's so like I don't know, like it must be insane money because I there is nothing like flying into Lubbock, Texas for the first time, and you see it. You see the flat
Doesn't
nothingness,
matter.
and
Dude,
it
Lubbock's a
like,
great college town because you can't leave. You cannot
Uh,
leave. And if you're king of a place where no one can leave, it's not that bad.
you're getting paid like what? I think he gets paid
Dean,
like 6 million, six
if you were
million, and you're
making
betting
6 million a
90,000,
year,
90,000.
if you're making 6 million a year in Lubbock, Texas, is life okay for you? Are you gonna? Yeah, I think so. Living like a
Yes, yes,
god.
life is okay, Chase. There's there's nothing to worry
You
about.
can't leave. You can't leave that
Yeah.
town. There's nothing within 6 hours.
Well, so anyways, the reason I brought that up is because I have had a casino experience. Did I ever tell you about when I was in Macau?
Yeah, with the lawyer guy.
The lawyer. Okay, I told that story then, but that was high roller, and that was shocking.
Well, that's
Like
that's a
shocking.
real big dog
Yeah,
casino. This
that
is
was
a
big.
poor
Oh.
white man casino.
That's like the table Dana White would play at,
Yeah.
and Michael Jordan. Like they're playing at that table, that sort of shit, and it was cool. It felt like James Bond. Like it felt like there was high stakes going on.
This is a beautiful casino. I was like, man, that's nice. Like this, but it's just one tro. I mean, that's a big money maker for a tribe, man. That's big dog shit.
Oh, but apparently I've been told like this online gambling is just it's destroying all the casinos. Like I've been
Really?
told Vegas is dead. Like Vegas is like suffering big time because it used to be a big international location, right? Well, now what's happening is people who used to do sports betting and all that, they're doing it online. And
Sure.
that's the same with poker, doing it online and stuff like that. And what's more, because of all the, international tension and all the anti-American shit, people just say, fuck it, we're not going to Vegas anymore. So apparently it's just empty. Nobody's at the casinos and shit like that.
It's a little
Like how
scary.
busy was the casino? Yeah, you were at
I couldn't tell you what the gate, but it was a lot
people.
of people. But I mean, I don't know what a lot of people is.
Yeah, yeah. The online, I get the feeling. I mean, I don't know if this is just new
Well, you
shit,
ban
but from what
online
I
betting in
heard,
the state, right? And then right? That's what I would do.
how do you ban online betting in a state?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like how are you going to regulate that? Like I don't know. That's like trying to ban porn. People will find a way. Like it just is what it is. But my understanding is that everybody's doing it. Like I was watching, so as I was watching the Knicks game, right? Literally on below the live feed was the poly market odds live with each scoring basket. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is ESPN. Like it's just 100. So like I brought it up because on PTI they were talking about the Texas Tech guy, and then immediately the commercial when they're done with it is DraftKings Sports. Like it's totally integrated. So there's no like it's over.
What do
It's
you,
over. It's going to be totally mixed in.
if you had money to burn, would you be into gambling? Does that,
Not into gambling. I'm not. Never.
okay.
Never have been.
What is
You
the,
would. No.
maybe. I don't, sports are dead to me. Nothing entertains me anymore. What,
Mm.
is there any vice that really percolates, gets you a little chubby in your pants or anything like that?
Oh, well, I identify with the Islamic caliphates. I would have a harem, you know? I think that's what I would do. I would let all of my sexual appetites get completely out of control. Like just that would probably be it. Gluttony, I would become insanely fat or just I think what I would do is like I would talk to doctors and be like, "Listen, I want to be a pig. I just don't want to die." And they'd like have some kind of thing where I could go on and off Ozempic, like have a month of total pigitude and then a month of
Bigotude?
losing all, yeah, pigitude, that sort of thing. Yeah, like I see, like that's interesting. Like our uncle, right? I assume he's going to go off the medication. So I'm curious what'll happen after. Like I'm curious. Okay, will the weight stay off? Will it come back? Who
It'll
knows?
come back. I think it's almost immediate that it comes back.
I mean, who knows, man? I don't really know anybody on it. Everybody I know who's on it stays on it. I've
You
never
have
seen
to.
somebody get off of it.
You have
You
to.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it doesn't
So
change your habits. It just changes your appetite. That's
I'm
it.
still waiting for that for the cancer diagnosis for the first one to go and be like, oh yeah, banned everywhere, cancer guaranteed.
What
You
is,
will die.
you had something on Elon here, but he's a trillionaire now, isn't he?
Yeah, man. SpaceX went public.
Yeah.
The stock went crazy high. Trillionaire. He's gonna be in history forever now. Like first one.
Do
He
you
is now
think he's
historical.
human? Do you think he's a real person? There's something.
I will always remember Elon for his days in the Trump White House. That was odd.
They're still
That
friends.
was. that was a strange moment of he's not right. And I think Mark Zuckerberg is even less right, but
Oh God.
Elon is there's a reason he can make Peter Thiel famously, Peter Thiel? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
He famously had a quote, and this is like way back in like 2010, before Tesla was getting started and stuff. And he said this, and people still talk about it today. He said, "Never bet against Elon. Never bet against Elon." And that tells me he saw something that went beyond genius in Elon, like some kind of drive, some kind of like something that was unusual, you
Elon
know?
seems to have a crystal ball that he knows what's coming. You know, it's just like this guy's always
Yeah.
in the right place. Like
He was in the
it's
news in China recently. Yeah. Did you hear
he,
about
he
that?
flew over there with Trump, didn't he?
So this was a big news story in China. So China, like one of the secrets to China's economy is they keep wages low, right? They intentionally keep wages low because that keeps them competitive, right? So you have to come to China because if you go to any other factory in the world, the wage is going to be higher, right? Um, Elon said because he's got all of the Tesla factories in Guangzhou, right? He says I want to increase the working rate for my employees, and the Chinese government said no. Like they said, you cannot increase the wages, and this caused outrage across southern China. Like people, like Elon became a hero, and it caused a lot of tension for the government because the government said you can't raise the wages because that means all the other Chinese car manufacturers will have to raise the wages. And Elon sent out a tweet that everybody saw in China, where he's like, "I'm sorry that your government doesn't respect your wages, Chinese people." You know, caused a big splash. It was everyone was talking about it.
But what
Everyone
can
was
they
also this is
do?
a
What can
powerful
they do
dude,
in
man.
China? What can they do, right? Nothing?
Nothing,
Nothing.
nothing. But I'm still like this is a South African who can literally affect the entire narrative of China. Is in the White House. And like this guy has so much power. It is it's unprecedented.
I
Like Rockefeller did not come close to this.
I
You
like him.
know,
I'm gonna invite him on the podcast. Try to get him on here.
get him to do the smoke that shake
I
his head.
I like look, come on here. We will talk about nothing important. I promise. It will be nothing
Yeah.
important. It'll just be
Maybe he
your
doesn't want to talk about nothing important.
I
I
don't
bet
think
he's
he
not know.
does. No, he does not know.
I don't think he knows how to talk, man.
He does
You
this. He
know,
goes, he's these long pauses. So we'll just give him important shit that we talk about to talk about.
I don't
Right?
know, man. I don't think I want to talk to
All
Elon.
right.
And
So you want?
I don't
I'll
think it
tell
would
him. You
go
know
well.
what? We don't want you on the show. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we want to tell. He wants to come on and we say,
We
nah,
ask him. He's like, oh, you know what? I'll help you out.
nah,
You know what? Nah.
nah, nah, not interested. Yeah, that sort of shit. Play a little game with him. You know what we should do with Elon? We take him to a buffet and we see if he's willing to go first. Let's see if Elon, will you go to the buffet first?
I've watched a couple of interviews with him recently, and it's just, I don't. The one I watched, the guy was so well. We would
I
round of
yeah,
applause for being the humanitarian. He was like, oh, thank you. But it's like, can you imagine everyone in the world kissing your ass? I don't know how
yeah.
I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it when everybody was
That's how it works,
posturing.
man.
Well, maybe
Eventually, when you're king, like everyone kisses your. This is like a classic China story that happens with emperor after emperor after emperor. Like the emperor stays in his palace and he's surrounded by people who only worship him, who only tell him good news, and meanwhile the country's burning down. You know, that's how it works. I think Trump's probably got the same shit. I bet he's just everybody in there just kisses his ass all the time. He probably only hears the good news. So when he hears something that's not perfect, then he loses his cool. You know,
if anything this weekend, going from a conference of professionals here in New Mexico, I saw that there was a that there is potential to rise
yeah,
because the bar is not that high, and
yeah.
it's a very simple narrative. It's like, okay,
I
I
think you
see.
just need some connections, man. You know,
Yeah, but again, it's like, do you want to stay and make connections, or would you rather be the
um,
nomad?
a long time ago, uh, I went to a debate competition in Washington. I was in high school or something like that. Mom sent me there. It was one of those weird things. Like, I'm sending you to a debate competition. I was like, I didn't ask to go to this, but
You worked
off I
with an
went.
Asian kid and you guys won.
This was the key, Chase. I found somebody. He says, I hate speaking. I'm only in this for the research. He's only in there for the technical side, and I could be the face. That's what you need. You need somebody who's willing to do all the nitty gritty work, all the research, and you deal with the public. And there you go. You're set for life, man. Somebody does all the hard work because they love the hard work. And Chase just enjoys the spotlight, going, "Mwah, mwah, mwah, mwah." It's all it's perfect. That's all you need. You're gonna be golden.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
potential. There's I
maybe that girl.
in places of desperation, there's potential. That's right. And maybe the Tunisian girl comes up and says, "Hello, Dr.
I was about to
Conrad.
say, man,
I
that
love you."
that little story with the Tunisia that had me a
Do
little
they
hard.
have
I was like,
French?
that sounds
Are
familiar.
they were they conquered by the French? Do you know anything
So I
about
know
anything about
Algeria definitely was.
Right.
I don't know about Tunisia. I think because in my mind, North Africa is French.
Right.
That's like in my mind. So maybe Tunisia.
One of
You know what? Let
my
me look it up.
one of my primitive first lesbians was number one, but number two, when Chase was growing up, his fantasy was there was this movie The Beach in 2000. There was
Oh,
this
yeah.
French girl speaking English to Leonardo DiCaprio. Hello, yes, I love you very. And I was like, oh my God, I want a French bitch that speaks broken English. Like that to me was just, oh
It was under French control until 1956.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
She looks
So did
kind
she
of
have a little accent? Did she have a little
no,
accent?
no, she did
Oh,
not. But I could ask her, be like, look, when you talk to me, just please, just
the French
go into the
Dr. Con.
past. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll do whatever you want. You want him dead? I'll kill him. It's fine. So yeah, it's fine.
Tunisian. Why was she in New Mexico? Why?
I don't know. You know, the first thing she said, she looked at my license. She goes, Hawaii? She goes, what are
Uh,
you doing here? I go, I don't
to ask you the
know.
same
I
question.
go, I don't know. But I said it like I don't know. And she laughed. She's like, you really don't know? And I was like, no, I don't. And it was a good start.
Seems like a movie. I like this. I like
It
this. This is my.
was, it was, I don't,
Did you get her name?
yeah, sure.
Will you tell me
No,
after the podcast?
sure.
I want to know what it sounds like. Yeah. All right. Well, that's an hour, 7 minutes, Chase. I guess we should end it there, huh?
They've had enough. These
I don't
things,
know.
we change lives. And I just, I don't know if it's for the better or worse, but they're always changing.
They are changing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks for listening to the Divine Brothers. See you later.
Bye bye.